Welcome to the Online Success Journey Podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey Podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 103. Are you ready to join the clan? Today we have Nathan Hirsch, a serial entrepreneur and expert in remote hiring, e-commerce, and the co-founder and the CEO of FreeeUp.com. Hello Nathan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I know the clan is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my clan a little bit about your background, about what you did before you started your own online business? Take us right up to the last job or business before you online.
Well, I started my first company when I was in college, so I never really graduated and got a real job. I had a few internships. I worked at Aaron's, which is kind of like a rent-a-center, where I learned a lot about business in general, working on below the CEO. I also worked at Firestone as an intern, where I learned a lot about sales, customer service, and how to treat people very well. And I always wanted to own my own business as a kid. So after a lot of failed lemonade stands, I went to college and studied being an entrepreneur and small business management. And what I remember is just wanting to figure out a way to make money. I was a broke college kid. I needed some extra beer money on the side. And I noticed that the school bookstore was ripping me off. I was buying textbooks for hundreds of dollars every semester and selling them back for pennies on the dollar. And so I wanted there to be a better way. So I created a bookstore business to compete with the bookstore, which they didn't like. But before I knew it, I had lines out the door of students trying to sell me their textbooks over the bookstore, the school bookstore. And from there, from selling books, I learned about Amazon, who was growing at the time. They sold mostly books. They were just getting into other stuff. And I became addicted to it, obsessed. And all I wanted to do was create an Amazon business because I thought it was so much fun. And so from a lot of trial and error, I started experimenting with drop shipping, selling products that I didn't have, having people purchase stuff. I would send orders to the suppliers, the vendors, the manufacturers, and they would ship it to my customers. And before I knew it, I was running a multi-million-dollar Amazon business out of my college dorm room, hiring people for the first time, making a lot of really good and really bad business decisions as a young entrepreneur. And when I graduated, I decided to pursue this over getting a full-time job. And I ended up opening up an office and hiring and making some good and bad hiring mistakes. And I also realized I was spending so much of my time on hiring that I wanted there to be a better way to hire. And that's how I came up with the idea of FreeeUp. And I've been running that for the past 2 years.
Wow. What a journey, Nathan. Okay. What is the most dangerous belief an online entrepreneur can have?
For me, it's that you can do it all yourself. I mean, that's something that I learned at a very young age. I really liked what I was doing. I thought I could answer customer emails every day and fill every order and never take a day off. And I remember going to my accountant and telling him this plan, and he laughed in my face. And he was like, "You're never going to be able to do that. You're going to need vacation. You're eventually going to hit a ceiling where you can't grow anymore doing it by yourself. There are people out there that can do things better than you." So it's something that I practice and preach to this day, is hiring and diversifying and adding people to your team that bring outside experience to help you grow your business, and also taking stuff off your plate that you shouldn't be doing. After you do the same repetitive tasks over and over and master them and create the process, you should really be handing it off to someone else. So that's kind of my advice to the young entrepreneurs who are trying to do everything themselves.
Wow. Why do you do what you do, Nathan?
Yeah, so with FreeeUp, I'm very passionate about hiring, as you can tell. So I've spent so many hours going through interviews and job applications and people's resumes and stuff like that, just to kind of be burnt at the end, thinking I'm making a good hire and not having it turn out the way I wanted. So I really wanted a better way to hire. And that's what I came up with FreeeUp, where we actually vet people before they get into our marketplace. We make sure they're high quality. We back them up. We have a no turnover guarantee for our clients, and creating that better way to hire. And what motivates me now I have 500 plus workers in my network that depend on FreeeUp to provide for their family, to really establish a career. And then you've got the clients who are trying to pursue their own dreams and build a company like I did back in college and really grow it. So I get to help them pursue their dreams and their passion as well. So that's what really motivates me, is both sides that I get to help.
Wow. Let's put money aside, because you started making money way when you are really young. So how do you know you are successful?
Yeah, so to me, being successful successful is helping the people around you be successful. It's no fun to be rich by yourself. It's no fun to be successful by yourself. And true entrepreneurs, they bring everyone around them up, whether it's the suppliers and the people they've made relationships with outside their company, the people inside their company, and really everyone that you meet along that entrepreneurial process. You're helping them and helping them grow in some way, whether it's with monetary value or with gaining skill sets or bringing that new client and new relationship on, or connecting them and networking them with other people. So the real part of success is growing with the group that's surrounding you that's helped you become successful.
Can anyone be an entrepreneur, or are some people more cut out for it than others?
I don't think everyone can be an entrepreneur. I've seen it. I mean, I have some really good friends of mine that I don't think want to, and I don't think could, even if they wanted to. They're much more structured to do what they're told, or have stability, or they're scared of conflict, or they're scared of having a bad month and not being able to recover from it. And being an entrepreneur has a lot of ups and downs. So I don't think it's for everyone. I think there is a time and a place for the people that want to have a steady job and want to be workers for the entrepreneur.
So what reassurance and encouragement do you have for my members of Clan who are not quite there yet, or they are having problems finding workers?
Yeah, I mean, the words of encouragement are don't give up. Hiring is hard. Everyone knows hiring is hard. Whether you use FreeeUp or not, there's always going to be difficulties that come up, whether it's personal issues that workers that prevent them from working, whether it's someone lying about their skill set, or all the things that kind of go along with that. But you really can't give up, because failure with hiring is not an option. You can't build a successful business without making good hires. So like everything else in business, there's a lot of trial and error involved. There's a lot of learning involved. There's a steep learning curve. And the better that you become at hiring, like every other skill set, the better that the more it's going to help your company over time. So for me, it's one of those things. As an entrepreneur, you have to learn when and when not to get frustrated. And most of the time, it's not beneficial to get frustrated. So if you're going to learn at every part of your business, learn how to hire. Spend a lot of time with that, because it makes every other part of your business so much easier. If you're struggling to run marketing and Facebook ads, being able to hire is going to help you do that. So to me, hiring is at the core of the business, and it's something you have to put your head down and learn and trial and error and grow from the mistakes that you make.
Wow. And out of these businesses, did you have any mentors, any coaches along the way?
So when I first started my Amazon business, I didn't have anyone. I did it all myself, which was a little bit of a mistake. I mean, all the mistakes that I made, I'm sure some mentor would point me in the other direction. With FreeeUp, what's cool is I work with a lot of influencers, the Ben Cummings, the Sean Mayos of the world, people who run successful businesses, who are well known in the e-commerce industry, people that have e-commerce knowledge that I want to learn from. So I've been able to build these relationships. And although I don't have an official mentor, I have people to look up to. I have people to throw ideas back and forth and brainstorm and think of ways to work together or grow FreeeUp or listen to the success and failures that they've had. So for me, it's really important to build those relationships and network rather than just have one mentor that you're always going to.
What is the most valuable thing you have learned from your group of networking and all the people inspires you?
Yeah, so the most valuable thing that I've learned from the people that I've talked to is how much work it takes to be an entrepreneur, and that everyone goes through those same ups and downs. So, I mean, you're not alone. If you're at that point where you're at that ultimate low, a lot of entrepreneurs get there. And I've had so many highs and so many lows that by year 5, 6, and 7 of being an entrepreneur, I understand that I'm going to bounce back. And I understand when I'm having a really good month, hey, this might not stay forever. Let's enjoy it now. Let's put steps in place to prepare for that eventual downturn, because it is a lot of mountains and valleys. So being around other people that have been there and that have had bad things happen or lost companies or had a lot of success, but got that success from a lot of trials and failures, it really makes you understand that you have to be even keeled and that you have to go at everything with the same approach, regardless of what success or failure that you're having.
Wow. Let's talk about your freeup.com. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so the cool thing about FreeeUp is you can go on all these different marketplaces like Upwork and Monster and post a job and get 100 applicants and interview them one by one. And it takes forever and you never know what you're going to get. At FreeeUp, we do it differently. We get hundreds of applicants every week. We have a great interview process that I created based on 8 years of hiring. We have 15 pages of communication guidelines our workers have to memorize and get tested on. And then we make these workers available to our clients on a first come, first serve basis. So our clients love it because whenever they need a worker, it's free to sign up. There's no monthly fee. They put in a request. We fill it quickly. We have these workers ready to go. And on the back end, we have workers from $5 to $50 an hour, US and non-US. So you get a lot of options, but we're also hands-on to make sure you have a good experience. And we're also insurance insurance against turnover if our workers rarely quit, but if they do, we cover all retraining, all replacement costs, and get you a new worker right away. So it's something I'm incredibly passionate about. We've been able to help so many talented freelancers, contractors get jobs that maybe they're not good on the sales side, but they're really good at what they do. So we bring clients to them. And on the client side, we've been able to help so many businesses that either have never hired before, have had made bad hiring decisions before, and need a better way in order to grow their business, or people that are just so big and too busy that they can't spend time interviewing for weeks at a time before they hire someone, and they need talent fast. So we've been able to help so many different people really grow with our company.
What clientele do you take on? I know you mentioned that you have workers from $5 to $50. Do you work with businesses who are already established or startups, or where do we fit in?
I mean, we work with some clients that do $100 million a year. We work with some clients that have never sold anything before, and everything in between. I mean, I would say the core of our clients are in that maybe $1 to $10 million a year range in terms of revenue, only because those are the types of people that usually have a hiring budget. But I mean, we work with a lot of companies, both bigger and smaller. I mean, the one thing that all business owners have in common is everyone needs to hire, whether it's a part-time person or a one-time project to build a website, or you need a full-time Filipino customer care team working 40 hours a week per person. I mean, you always need to hire in order to get to the next level.
Yeah, let's say I came in and I sign up on your freeup.com and I say, you know what, I want cover designed, but I want it in a week. Can you fill that in? Can I use your service?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you submit a ticket, we want to know what your perfect worker looks like, what success is to you, what your goals are. And the more information you provide, the easier it is for us to get you a worker that can do exactly what you want. So if you put in, hey, I need it within a week, obviously it has to be reasonable, but we'll show it to different workers and we'll make sure the person that we give you isn't going on vacation next week and it has the time to actually do it. So a lot of the times if you go on other marketplaces, you have these great interviews with someone and then you're like, all right, let's get started. And they're like, okay, I can start in 2 weeks because you forgot to ask that up front. And there's so many questions like that as a business owner, you might forget to ask and will waste your time during the interview process. Where with us, you tell us what you want, you be specific, and then we get you exactly that.
Wow. It sounds really too amazing. Wow. So where do we find you? Or what type of people? Are you covering around the world, or is this just US based? Where?
No, we're on the worker side, we're about 40% US, 40% Philippines, and 20% scattered around the world. On the client side, I mean, we're both US and non-US. I want to say 60-40 US, but that might be a little outdated. I mean, we have clients from Europe to, Mexico, you name it, all over the world.
So how can we reach you?
Yeah, so I'm very easy to contact. If you go to freeup.com with 3 E's, right at the top is my calendar. You can book a free meeting with me. I'd love to talk to you about your business. You can find us on Facebook. We have an online hiring mastermind group that you can find on Facebook and join. Even if you're not a FreeeUp client, we post a lot of great stuff there on tips on how to hire. And then we also have our FreeeUp blog that we post a lot of great articles about hiring to really help you along the way. And the cool thing about us is when you hire a worker from us, or even if you don't, we're there to assist you along the way. We don't just give you the worker and disappear. So if you Google FreeeUp, if you Google my name, you'll find lots of great content to help you along your hiring journey, not just at the beginning.
Okay. So glad there will be more from Nathan in a moment. If you are finding Nathan's journey interesting and you are ready to hear more, come and listen to the full version of the interview at onlinesuccessjourney.com. If you are on Online Success Journey already, click on part 2 of Nathan's journey and you'll get more tips to help you get a good hire. Don't make mistakes what other people are making. Get on ground running. And don't forget, you can access all other Online Success Journey interview podcasts on the site as well. That's a wrap, clan. Remember, success is a journey. Patience and Nathan.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com, filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the online success journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.